My name is John Spinks, Senior Principal Technical Marketing Manager for Red Hat Insights. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of our new features, which is rule grouping and value editing for our regulatory compliance service. What this does for you, the first part of it is rule grouping. You're just going to see that as part of this demo that we're going to do. We take groups of rules and we put them together logically so they make sense when you go looking for them. It's just an easier way to display the information in a visual fashion. The value editing is when you go in, you look at a rule, it's got a value in it, like maybe a password expires in 60 days, and you say, I have a more strict policy. I need that to expire in 45 days. You can easily edit that value without having to go into, say, OpenSCAP Workbench. Let's take a look at this. From the Hybrid Cloud Console, I'm going to go into the SCAP policies, and we're going to create a new policy. We're going to create this for RHEL 8, and let's use our CIS Level 1 server benchmark. You can enter in here a business objective or a compliance threshold. Maybe we only expect that we, on average, get 97% compliance, so we'll enter 97 in. And then we'll get the list of our systems. I'll look at my RHC systems, select all 9 of them. If you've not seen this regulatory compliance service before, the idea here is across a variety of different versions of RHEL, we are going to give you the most accurate compliance reporting for that specific version of RHEL. We do that using the RHEL System Security Guide of the appropriate version that matches the version of RHEL. So if I look at RHEL 8.8, that uses SSG version 1.69. And if I look at the list view, there's 283 rules in SSG version 1.69. If I go to an older version of RHEL, 8.4, that uses SSG 1.66, and we have 255 rules. So a newer version of RHEL may add additional features that either add new rules that we need to evaluate, or perhaps even take rules away. So it's very important that your version of RHEL has the appropriate version of the SSG installed. I'm going to look at the RHEL 8.8 because the focus here that we have is the rule grouping and the value editing. That default view I had was the grouping. So if I look at these rules themselves, system settings and services, I have basically grouped all of these rules into a logical order. Let's say the value that I want to manipulate is in password length, the example I gave earlier. That's under Account and Access Control. Protect accounts by restricting password-based login. And set password expiration parameters. We're going to set a password maximum age. The default age that we have in here is 60, but let's go ahead and change this to 45. It's that simple to edit the value to ultimately tailor rules. You could go also into a different rule here, like set password's minimum age. Interestingly enough, this one has both a maximum and a minimum. It's just the way that the rule is set up. And it already shows that newer value that I updated. So we're showing consistency across the rules. 45 is listed. You know what? Maybe we actually want 30. And if I go back up, you can see that the previous one we edited also already reflects 30. So we know where these rules interrelate, and we're able to very quickly and easily allow you to edit the rules. The other part of rule tailoring is just, hey, I don't want to evaluate against a certain rule, so maybe installing and maintaining software, system and software integrity. Let's say that we don't actually use AIDE. There's a number of AIDE-based rules in here. I can just, because we've grouped them, I can just uncheck the whole group, and that removes it from my view. I am no longer doing any checking against AIDE. I've removed all of the related rules to AIDE with a single check mark. The old way is still available. That's this list view. This is what you would normally have, and the value editing still works, but it's a lot more difficult to find what you're looking for because of the organization. So if I'm looking for password-based information, I'm basically just scrolling here, and again, there's 280 rules. I can search password, and there again is my set password maximum age, set password warning age. All the information is in there. That grouping just makes it easier to find. When you've made all your changes, you've tailored your rules, Click Next, Review, and Finish. And you've just created a SCAP policy. Now your next step is to do evaluations against this policy. That has more to do with the overall compliance service and not with this particular feature. So that is compliance rule grouping and value editing.